Good morning, Polynikes here with another battle report. This is an interesting one this time between the Combined Army and the Druze Security Force. Druze, Byram? Yeah, Druze. Alright, so we're going to be playing Power Pack. See that is there, Power Pack, which is a mission with weird deployment zones, as we'll see in a moment. You can see the objectives here. It's notable, let me grab my marker here, but hold on. It is notable that the bottom objective here where it says connect the enemy console is actually control. It's correct in ComLog if you have that, which I recommend. ComLog is great. Otherwise, it's to activate antennas and then control the enemy console, place your multi-scanner, and you'll note the multi-scanner is worth 3 points in this mission. 1 for placing, 2 for placing in the saturation zone, for a total of 3, or -1 if you just not do it, right? Okay. The deployment zones, you see these are weird, right? 16 inches up, 12 inches over, in all 4 quarters. And then this large area in between your 2 zones, which you have to worry about enemy combat jumpers walking on, or things like that. You can see the objectives, the 3 antennas, the 2 consoles. Yeah, this deployment zone makes for some really weird things, and weird maths that we're not used to because of the saturation zone. So, like, snipers are really good in this mission because they're going to mostly be on the ARO, and firing at burst 1 normally, and everything firing back at them will be -1 burst. So that just makes them that much better. All right, army lists. I am playing my S&M list, which of course stands for Skiavoros and Morats, right? And here it is. I was kind of missing my regular Morats, hadn't played them in a long time, so I wanted to make a list with a lot of them. And here we go. We got Skiavoros, a grenade launcher Morat, forward observer, and a hacker Morat, my Q drone, my medtech. Now, the medtech should probably be a Kurgat. I almost always prefer a Kurgat in this list because I have so many actual bodies walking around as opposed to robots. I chose the medtech. I wish it was the Kurgat. I'll get to that in the mission, but definitely would have been better. We got 2 Dotterotzais, the Rotok Assault Hacker. This is a model I've been really hot on recently. Usually I use a Shrouded or a Zuriat Assault Hacker, and I've decided to give the Rotok a run for a while, and he's been great. He's the same cost as the Zuriat, which is 5 points cheaper than the Shrouded. He has BTS, they don't. He's got a shotgun, he's got mines, he's got mimetism. They also have the mimetism item. And with forward deployment 1, he kind of gets their ability to infiltrate, though not quite. I've been really happy with him, though. All right, then we got our Yalgat multi-sniper. And then in group 2, 2 Imatrons, Zuriat multi-sniper. This is a model I've really been wanting to try out. I'm actually proxying it because I haven't painted it yet. You'll see when we get there. Her plan is to kind of be one of my reserves and pick on the enemy's mistakes in deployment, where she can move around, snipe 1 or 2 things, lay a couple mines, and just kind of be fortified where she is. Then she's got 2 more baggage, or is it 1 baggage and an R drone, mainly for more orders for her. All right, my opponent playing the Druze. Here's his list. I'll move myself out of the way so you can see the top there. He's got almost the same amount of orders as I do, which is interesting. We didn't coordinate that. He is trying to mind game with 9 guys in the first group. So I'll think there's a Bashi Bazook or something coming. I don't really pay attention to that during the game, but I just assume there is a Bashi Bazook, and as you can see by his list, there's not. Okay, hopefully you've had enough time to look at his list, and we'll move on. We are doing the difficult for the classified objectives. So I chose experimental drug. Again, having Dockworm and lots of bodies around, I figured this will be feasible to do. Okay. I lose the lieutenant role and he chooses sides. It's really good to go second in this mission because you want to get onto the things, right? Honestly, I would have chose to go first anyway had he just chose deployment, because I'm scared the Druze are just going to rain EM grenades on you until you're in trouble on the first turn. And in this list, I have Skiavoros, who really dislikes getting EM'd. If I'd known I was playing Druze, I would have swapped Skiavoros out for Kornak, who doesn't care at all about that. All right. So here is the board. This is the side that I end up deploying on. You can see it here. I'll draw the deployment zones for you. The deployment zones with the 16 and the 12 pretty much go like that. And on the other side, out to about here, and kind of the same over like that. It was kind of annoying in my deployment where this building right here was just outside of the forward deployment 1 that the medium infantry have. So I couldn't get my Rotok up there or my Yalgat, which I kind of wanted to. All right. This is the other side of the board where the Druze will end up deploying. You can see one of my Imatrons is already out there scattered. But that's where he ends up. All right. This is my deployment starting on my far right flank. We've got the other, or we'll go from the right over. So our drone up there, Morat forward observer, Ulaties, Doc Worm, Yaugat, who will eventually be prone before we're done, assault hacker. This gives me 3 specialists over here going for this objective. All right, this is my HVT in the corner there. Now moving to my other side, which I'll flip over here. Yeah, we got Skiovoros up in the upper left here. Remember, he's forward deployment 1, so he can get a little bit farther out as well. And he's going to get the Xenotech attached to him over here in a moment. We've got Icadron, light grenade launcher Morat hackers hiding in this orange box, Q drone, slave drone for Doc Worm, and a Yaugat. I have not placed my reserves yet, which are going to be my 2 snipers, my Yaugat and my Zerriat. Yaugat will be here, the Zerriat will be up in front, which is probably actually the most interesting part of this game. We'll get to that in a minute. Okay. That's my, oh, this is my reserve deployment. Okay, go back. This is my reserve. This is the Zerriat right here, proxying with a Vanguard sniper. When you see the enemy's deployment, you'll see that she has an avenue to move forward to about here, and then look downrange in that direction, where she can see one of the Link team members. I wasn't paying a lot of attention when my opponent told me it was an HMG, and I thought it was a combi rifle. So my thought was to pluck on that combi rifle in order to break their link, or to reduce their link, before my Q drone then engages his sniper, which you'll see in his deployment in a moment. Yeah, and then my other reserve is the Yaugat over here, who just has good lanes of fire. He's covering where his link is over there, which again you'll see in a moment, and covering a line down that way. Okay. So this is his deployment. Starting on his right, we've got the dreaded MSV2 sniper on top of the building. He's got a full link scattered around him. There's 2 bounty hunters over here. There's the Red Fury in the corner, and this guy, I think he's combi rifle. He's going to be escorting the Xenotech when we get to that. And then there's a doctor in here somewhere. There's a couple bots down there in the corner. And this is the HMG guy that I was talking about a moment ago. And there's a thin line basically that goes like that off towards where the Zerriat is. See here, yeah, oh, okay. Something like right over this objective, basically. When you get to that side of the board, you'll see that. Okay, so over on that side of the board, if I can get out of your way, yeah, there we are. Okay, so there's that line that goes right over that to that guy. And then over here we've got Harris of Druze. This is Arslan. This is a Druze killer hacker, and this is, I guess, the Harris guy. 2 baggage bots back here. Baggage bot there, I guess 1 baggage bot, and the Camille, which is the 8-point bot right there, 8-point flash pulse, pneumatism. All right, so remember that the Zerriat was my reserve here, and his counter-deployed reserve is his arm bot and the Ox bot here. This is really good counter-deployment because the Zerriat is covered by the flamethrower as well as the shotgun there. So if she does anything, she's kind of in trouble. He has his bot at a little bit of an angle, kind of like that, in case I bring on a combat jumper over here. Okay, so I walk on. I will not be able to walk on to his rear. So this whole fight gets really interesting very quickly here, as I kind of spend a lot of orders doing nothing, as you'll see. Now here's a top-down view of it. You can see we're both not quite touching this obstacle because it's an objective and you can't start touching objectives. And you can see the angle, the edge of his base marking is right here, so it goes like that. Maybe a little bit farther over. He made it so there wasn't enough room for a combat jumper to walk on here. That was the important part of it. Okay, so my turn starts. Ulaties runs up impetuously, gets line of fire to the Oxbot. Oxbot dodges to try to get into cover on the objective, and I shoot him with my pistol. So I don't really need smoke over here for any reason. So I shoot him with my pistol and miss. Nothing really happens there. And then I move up the R drone over to this corner, kind of like that. My first move is about to here, which triggers an arrow from the Oxbot, which is dodge again, because he doesn't think he's in flamer range. And the second move brings it up to the corner right here. Before that happens, this other Ulaties runs over here. He doesn't get into view of anybody, and he tries a long smoke grenade, which fails. It's not relevant at the moment. Okay, back to this side. You can see where the R drone ends up. You can see, you can kind of see the Oxbot. You see his little antenna sticking out right here. So the assault hacker jumps up now. You can see he's moved up. He runs over to here and hacks through my repeater to try to shut down the armbot. He fails. He runs again to right here to shoot down this sliver right here to the rear of the armbot. Shoots him with a shotgun. Interaction is actually really interesting here because I'm also in range of the killer hacker. Of course, I didn't realize that when I moved up. The killer hacker, who's like behind this wall, he's just barely in range of me there. No, I'm sorry, he's not in range of me. He's barely in range of me there, but I'm within 8 of the repeater on the Oxbot, excuse me, the Armbot. So all that happens, his hacker just whiffs, so my Morat survives. I hit him with my shotgun and he survives, fails the guts, and backs off a little bit that way and faces me. So this next top-down view is kind of interesting because I'm now out of repeater range because he failed the guts test, and he is just barely in range to keep his Oxbot active again. Otherwise, if it gets over 8, it shuts down because it becomes disconnected. So I try 1 or 2 more hacking attempts with the Morat hacker or the assault hacker, and nothing really happens. I don't get anything done. So then the Morat hacker eventually does immobilize it, comes over here and shoots the shotgun into the Oxbot, and the shotgun goes like that, but doesn't quite hit the Armbot. Kind of ends right there, and the Armbot's able to reset. The little guy goes down. We had a little discussion here whether the immobilize from the hacking into the Armbot would shut down the Oxbot. My opponent said he didn't think they shared the state. I said I think they did. One of our friends who was there said also they didn't, so we didn't delve too deep into it. We said it did not. And that cost me a couple of orders dealing with the Oxbot before I could do over here and shoot him. Looking it up later, I'm pretty sure that they do share the state. The rule says that hacking programs that grant states, they share them from the controller to the Oxbot. The example only lists friendly programs, but they're examples. They don't cover everything. So I'm confident that it does share. If anybody knows different or can point me to something that says different, I'd love to see it. So in this case, after removing the small bot, but not the big bot, the Road Oak just jumps over here to try to get a shotgun shot. And he does get a shotgun shot. It kind of goes like that and splashes over here. He ties with Arslan, kills the killer hacker, and nothing happens to the other guy there. And the Road Oak also takes a shot from that HMG and the Link team kind of downrange. So the Road Oak will be unconscious. The Zuriat over here, she spends a couple of orders now moving around. She shoots at this guy with her pistol, nothing happens. She gets far enough away to shoot with her sniper rifle from there and puts him unconscious finally. She then comes back around the corner to try to shoot that Link team member. And she shoots him once, hits him, and he makes both saves. She shoots him again and fails and goes unconscious. So there's the Zuriat being unconscious now. Link team intact and really didn't do very much there. Okay, we go into my opponent's first turn. Arslan moves up. You can see down this avenue here to the Dotaratsai. Dotaratsai throws the smoke. I was trying to get the R drone into the smoke as well, and I did not. You can possibly see the smoke goes to about here. So I didn't even get close on that. Arslan then moves up to engage the R drone and gets stunned. I seem to just not be in the right space here. Okay, Arslan comes up, has a little bit of a firefight with the R drone, gets stunned, and falls back there. So a regular Druze comes up. It's the Harris guy. He gets up to here and he does put the R drone unconscious. He then fires his chain rifle onto the R drone, which splashes through and also hits the Dotaratsai, who's inside the smoke cloud. So you can see how bad it was that I didn't get that R drone into the smoke. Because if I had, pretty much none of that would have been possible. Except maybe with an intuitive attack, and that's a lot harder. Yeah. So yeah, there's the Dotaratsai down there who goes unconscious to the same attack with the chain colt there. Okay, and then his bounty hunter, this is the Condor Rifle one, controlling his Xenotech. He moves up, spends a couple orders shooting at my Imatron, and actually miraculously fails to kill it with the first 2 orders. Maybe kills it with the 3rd. He then places the multi-scanner with the Xenotech right there. And then he pumps into this corner right here and sets suppressive fire. And that's the end of turn 1. You can see I haven't really gotten any points yet, and my opponent has gotten 3 for planting the multi-scanner in the saturation zone. Okay, so now I'm starting my turn 2. The Dotaratsai on the other side, which is impetuous first, I think I have that in the next slide. He'll run up and dodge against the sniper. The Morat forward observer over here kind of peeks out, catches this Druze in the open, and eliminates him with the Condor Rifle. And then, yeah, this is on the other side. You can see the Dotaratsai running out over here. He can't smoke dodge versus the Brawler, so he just does a regular dodge and survives. Remember, the sniper's only on burst 1, despite the large limit bonus. Okay. So my Q drone moves out next, and I'll go back to that. The Q drone comes up right behind here after getting upgraded to Marksman 2 by the Morat hacker, and fires and successfully kills the sniper up there. When the sniper's firing through the saturation zone, he's only burst 1. It's not as deadly as the burst 2 sniper in the full link. And now that I'm upgraded, I wasn't as scared about it. Again, I can repair my drone also if I get hit, right? Because he's only burst 1, you can't possibly blow the drone off the board. And fortunately for me, I believe I crit. It takes 1 order and I kill the sniper there. Okay, the Q drone then moves out over to my right, over here, where I can get a shot. I think it actually ends up going farther. Yeah, it comes out right here. From about here, it gets a shot at the suppressing fire bounty hunter over there. I think it takes me 2 orders, but I kill him. Yeah, I think he's gone in this picture. Yeah, he's gone. Okay, so Q drone's still moving out. You can see that's where it got its position. It's moving up moving up in that direction, where it's going to try to get line of fire to Arslan. Sorry for this blurry picture, but this is where the Q drone, he bumps into this obstacle so it can roll around it and get cover onto Arslan right there. And that does not work, unfortunately. I shoot him, he makes 2 armor saves, can't even guts test anywhere, so he just stands there. I spend another order, I roll back over to here, shooting him again, and this time Arslan crits me, and the drone is down. So this has really disrupted my turn, because Arslan's a strong character in a strong position, and I really want to kill him. So Doc Worm spends some orders running up. This is the slave drone over here, and he fixes the Q drone, and the Q drone still has line of fire to Arslan where he is, though I'm not in as good range bracket anymore. I'm a little bit too close, I'm within 16. And Doc Worm, as you'll see in the next phase, he runs all the way up to here and goes prone, right behind this objective. My thought being that Arslan will get killed by the Q drone next time he activates, and then I'll be right on the objective, which is great. I've also, I didn't show you a picture of it, moved my Morat forward observer right about here, but below the screen a little bit. So he's looking up this way as well. In hindsight, definitely Doc Worm should have been here. And had this been the Kurgat, he would have been there having less movement. He also would have probably laid himself a mine, which would have been great, as you'll see in a moment. Okay, so this is kind of where we end up with the Q drone there, right? And my opponent now is trying to engage the sniper. I believe that's what's happening. His HMG steps out over here, from about there, gets the line like that, and gets killed by my sniper. And then the Red Fury comes out here, Bounty Hunter, and he ends up being like 25 inches away from the sniper. Really bad for him, right? He's also killed by my sniper. This is the Yaugat doing all that. Okay, and then Arslan begins his run. He walks up like this, getting into a firefight with the Q drone here. He's fortunate, he beats the Q drone and puts the Q drone unconscious again, which, remember that I was counting on that for protecting Doc Worm, right? So he moves up, kills Doc Worm, takes him 2 or 3 orders, and I think just before that he kills the Morat, who, as a mistake on my part, again, he's standing in the open there. I was planning on moving him up to here to be in cover at some point, because he moved out there in a coordinated order on my second turn there. However, when the Q drone went down, I ended up spending all my orders on Doc Worm to get the Q drone back up, so I didn't have time to get him back into, or orders to get him back into cover. So Arslan has successfully killed pretty much everything on this side of the board now. And he's standing there. He can't get the objective though, he's just standing next to it. And that's pretty much the end of turn 2. He still has 3 points and I haven't gotten any yet, because I still haven't placed my multi-scan. So turn 3. This is the Dotaratsai who's running around not really doing anything. And Skivoros is now going to activate. He has the Xenotech here. Skivoros is going to go this way. The Xenotech is going to go that way. He's kind of heading over here to this objective because he can get a shot at Arslan down there, and he can guard this objective. He also can't get the objective not being a specialist. But that is what happens. Skivoros comes over. It takes him, I think, 2 shots to kill Arslan, but he does it. It's not, yeah, Arslan doesn't have anywhere to go when he makes the first armor saves or whatnot. You can see the unconscious bounty hunter with the Red Fury up here that tried to kill the Yaugat. It takes me now 3 orders to plant the multi-scanner, but I plant the multi-scanner right there. And then I put the Skivoros on suppressive fire. He's got really good arcs here, so you can see kind of around the objective that way and that way. So if anybody back there wants to come out, they're going to have to get in a firefight with me. I've already planted my multi-scanner at the last turn. I don't care if Skivoros dies at that point. I've got mimetism, cover, suppressive fire, and I'm firing plasma back. That's a pretty strong position. Especially if you consider the enemy's HMG is down, their Red Fury is down, their sniper's down. So anybody coming around is going to be coming around with like a combi rifle. And that's not going to be a good fight for them. However, on the other side of the board, you'll see this is a picture from the earlier on in the game, but you can see everything here is dead except for these two bots down here. So this bot, which is the 6/6 8-point one, just rolls over to here, rolls over this objective onto this corner over here, and is able to secure the HVT for 1 point. And that's the end of the game. It turns out well, the Druze win with a 4-5. It's 3 for laying the multi-scanner, 1 for preventing the enemy from controlling your console. That's my 4. He has those same, multi-scanner, preventing enemy, and he has 1 for securing the HVT. So yeah, it was a really interesting game. I was extremely frustrated in the beginning when I couldn't do anything to get that arm bot. I spent my entire turn, getting my Zuriat and my Roto killed and eventually bringing him down and not breaking that link or reducing the link as I was trying. One of my rules of thumb is try to never leave turn 1 with no victory points, or objective points, I mean, of course. And you can see I didn't do that at all in this game. It was actually pretty terrible. I had 3 specialists I wanted on my right-hand flank to get that objective, and just all the orders ended up getting sunk into destroying the bot. And yeah, so that didn't work out at all. Had the immobilized state shared between the 2 bots, that would have been a lot easier. And like I said, I think that is the case, but it's not worth disrupting a game to dig out a rule for that much time. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the game. It was a lot of fun, and I'll see you next time. Thank you much. Ciao.